GM, everybody, welcome to episode 8 of The Cook. Nito, welcome, my friend Hector. Always good to see you. Guys, I've got a special guest in the studio with me today, the legend Hashirama. What is going on, my brother?
How's it going, everyone? Just hanging out, joining in on HMC's session today. Good to see everyone.
Yep. Thank you for joining us. That's Hashirama's ex there. I'll share that again later. But it's a heck of a day. Treasure Dad is in the chat, and I don't know if that's Sent or Kent, but bullish. Thank you guys for joining here today. So Hashirama, an introduction of you for people who don't know. Um, I think actually I'm gonna just let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, no problem. Overall, been I started out with the whole crypto space and the EVM journey in the world. Starting with Binance Smart Chain originally, Ethereum, and extremely high gas times, and then as the times move on, I found my way and home to Solana for the last 3-4 years, and have been full time LPing and just doing DeFi and entrepreneurial projects. And now I'm overall moderator and teach education for the LP Army, and I'm also the new intern for LP Army as well.
Nice. So the intern, I always love this intern because they call the people who run an X account an intern, but the for the official LP Army account right there, which I want to get into that here in a bit about what that's like, but Tix is in the chat and he thinks you're a goat. Well, now or you're AI. Yeah, win camera, Hush. But anyway, so yeah, you've been a legend helping out with LP Academy, creating content, helping people, running the X account, and probably quite a bit more. You make some great content as well, analyzing things on X. So I don't know. I'll go ahead and just ask the question.
Yeah.
Running an X account like that, like it's a very important job, critical job, running that for the community. What would you say, like, well, first of all, just take me through like a typical day of that job. What are you looking for? What are you doing? I mean, you have specific goals and tasks, frequencies. What's that like for you?
Yeah, overall, I really like their position. It helps me get in tune with the different communities. So it really pushes me to stay on the forefront, just kind of just keeping up with what everyone is doing, since the LP Army is such a huge international group. It allows me to spend some time and connect with, the French, the Indonesian, the Nigerian community. And for me, I like being on the ground floor, just talking to people. That's what I've always been really a fan of, just education, helping others. And in the same role, I'm kind of a little less, on the forefront, but I'm still kind of connecting with the different communities. So I really like logging in different hours. So like the American hours are popular, the Asian hours and the European. Each section, I'll just connect with communities and find things that are relevant to post as far as community related, and then I'll sometimes schedule threads for specific events like the coaching sessions and slash or support and just reply to people in general. So Really just overall being the voice and supportive figure just behind people's small shares. I think it's really important to highlight, everyone's wins. So just commenting and just being supportive of all the people that are supportive of us is what it's all about, I think.
Yeah, so bullish, and so I think one of my questions is like, is there a certain, like, for posting on X, being able to like maximize your exposure, interaction, impressions, getting those impressions, getting people to interact with it. Do you have any like tips and tricks for people? Like, what's the best way to do that? Or
Yeah,
what do you?
so I think having a consistency in posting is, I think, very powerful because it kind of adds you to the algorithm as far as uh, you know the amount of work that you're putting in. So consistency, what do you put in, keywords, overall, just having original content. So I think the nowadays original content is weighed a lot heavier versus just like resharing content or copy and paste and AI slop. I feel as if it's very easy to detect. I've noticed that scheduling posts and then just being a little more precise on what you post in keywords and then just tagging some people, it helps connect different communities. I found that to be helpful.
So you hit on something there that I want to expand upon. You talked about scheduling posts. Uh, and so I guess what you're trying to do is like target certain times when, people might be the most active, or is it like you don't want to post too often? I mean, the scheduling, tell me, like, why and when. What are you
Yeah,
looking at
so
to decide when to schedule?
I like to think of it as kind of like time zones for trading in general. Like the American hours are, something that's a little more relatable to me since I am on the West Coast. But I find that the beginning hours of each time zone is usually like the most popular for people to log on and be a little more active. And at the same time, it's just the time that people could maybe check up on their social medias or either be the charts. I just noticed that the starting few hours for each time zone is usually the most active and most switches here. So I like to do Asian, European, and those are like my main two, and then switch between there.
Yeah. So, um, and I have noticed, like, talking about X, how um, just simply doing a repost anymore doesn't get as many, traction and views as say a quote does. And you mentioned that, like, original content, and I mean, I will tell you guys, like, I know this for me, like you don't have to be like professional with it.
Yeah.
Like, DJ and shit is also good.
Yeah, I've actually noticed that live videos from X are getting pushed a lot more recently. So I've seen some people that are trenchers on Twitch that got moved on, that they're just getting more exposure on X, so they're basically doing cross stream posting.
Okay.
And I've noticed some people have gained a lot more of traction in the last like month or so. So it's good to see.
Yeah, and you mentioned Twitch. Now Sagadao TV, we are on Twitch. Shout out to the viewer out there for that.
Nice.
Yep,
Appreciate your
right on.
support.
Yep. So that's cool. And like, it is funny because I did a promo for my. I'm doing a show tomorrow, right? Because I run two shows, and let's see if I can pull that one up here. What did I do with that? Here we go. So like this promo, I mean, to me it was like, in my head it was hilarious. Um, it didn't get the traction I wanted, and maybe it's because like I posted it at the wrong time. I don't really know, but I mean, I'll let you guys watch it. Um, And you could tell me where I went wrong with this. Hello, play. Oh, I'm playing over here. Oh, oh my god.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So hang on. Let me stop that. There we go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, that thing was funny. It was like obviously DJing is hell. Um, like, production quality is low, and that's actually was the point. Um, it just I'm video editing is not my forte. I've
Yeah.
learned some bit, but um, it just like it didn't get the traction that I thought it would. I felt like I got ratioed on that one. You think it was just like maybe the timing, or was it like people just didn't get it? Or you don't have to give me a full analysis. I'm just like, you know,
Um, it could have been. I feel maybe like maybe some people thought maybe it could have been more like an inside joke, and maybe they had a hard time relating what the different food items were in relation. Because they're, I feel like you have like your names of the cook in there, so maybe people were thinking maybe he's got to be cooking a dish or something.
okay. Yeah, I guess it is kind of like isolated because Eno is of Korean descent, and so it was kimchi, and Simon is of German descent, so therefore the sauerkraut. So maybe it is kind of like it was too inside for that, but regardless, I had fun making it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. Just having good times.
Yeah, I did have some good times. I'll need to make another one. Crime actually made something pretty cool. I don't know if it's posted yet, but anyway, like I'm digressing into like dumb stuff here. Um, let's see. What did I? Here we go. Share screen. We'll come back to this here. So yeah, there's your X. Good stuff here. Um, and man, I would love to have this dude on.
Yeah, Salon Sensei, he's a good guy. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's actually huge, dude. He works out like, dude is like massive.
Nice. I feel
Uh,
like a lot of people, I feel that's a key thing is staying healthy is working out, active and mobile is a good hobby and habit to have.
Indeed, and so like you're not necessarily a big gym guy, but you do quite a bit of workout. You like rock climbing and
Yeah, I like to stay active. There's a lot of nature out here, so it helps you just kind of touch some
yeah,
grass, slap some rocks.
slap some rocks. So this is you here, okay? And it looks like you've got a wrapped up mattress on your back. What is that?
Yeah, so basically it's like a mat that just helps you not get hurt. So if you're climbing on the wall, they're kind of like a just basically like a little more dense foam mat that when you fall down just helps cushion the fall essentially.
Yeah. So so like if you fall off the mountain, it'll save you.
Yeah, I mean just to a slight degree. I mean if you roll down the mountain, you're gonna be yeah pretty wrecked regardless. But sometimes the routes and climbs are kind of really weird angles. So if you say you like miss a hold or you fall off, sometimes the ground isn't very forgiving. So usually a few of us will have some mats and we just kind of lay them down on the floor just in case like you slip off, and the mat's a little forgiving than solid gravel. So
Gotcha. Okay. So it's got nothing to do like if you're actually like climbing to the top of a mountain or anything.
Nah, it's a small position. I usually go for bouldering. It's like a lot more shorter distance.
All right.
The other one will be usually like it's called belaying. So it's a little more sport climbing. They have like ropes and you put in like anchors to the wall and
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, bullish. I know what you're talking about, bro. The legend himself, Quicks, is here. What's going on, my brother? It's
Hey,
good to
what's
see
up,
you.
Quicks?
Okay, so here's another one where you're like, it, man. It looks like there's no gear here, so you're
Yeah,
just
no gear, just your hand,
bouldering.
shoes, some chalk.
Yeah, you got your anti-rug mattress down there.
Yep, anti-rug mattress.
Yeah, I mean, you look a little ripped there, actually. To be honest with you, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a few years ago, but that was over this place called Wenatchee, in the mountains. Um, yeah, so like that was what the mats are there on the bottom here. So basically, the floor is usually not like flat. So if you like fall on it on a weird angle, if you don't know how to fall, sometimes you can like roll your ankle or knee or So yeah, just and then friends there to spot you just in case you kind of like fall a weird position. Yeah, just protocol. Just how
yeah,
to
okay,
stay safer.
cool. So, have you ever gone alone?
I've gone alone in its like small spots, but if I'm pushing like the limits of what I know I can do, I usually like to go with like at least one other person. Just it's more fun, just safe. But usually I go with like a small group. If I
Okay,
usually train alone, it's usually more in like the gyms. But if it's something that I go out for a few hours, like a lot of the times these routes are farther out, so it's kind of like a few hours drive.
okay. Bullish. I mean, I've done tiny amounts of bouldering, but it's like usually at like the indoor climbing wall, or, like
Yeah,
an
I think
artificial
it's yeah,
ground.
all of them's great. It's good movement. Love the community. Um, it's
Yeah,
kind of like a puzzle on the wall, so it's good for like problem solving. I think.
yeah, climbing on bid ask style. That's hilarious. Well, I mean, I learned a little bit about bouldering and what have you. I guess does it if you want to help, like you work on your grip strength and like pull ups, and what kind of exercises do you really focus on to have the strength and endurance to do this?
So I mean, yeah, the grip is gonna be central, but what I really like to start my days off is I just like hanging on the pull up bar
Okay.
and then just training your shoulders to be able to hold your weight. I think is very key. And at the same time, when you're just hanging, it does not. It's super simple. You could time it, and then you could change the positions during hangs. You could do one arm hangs. When I was really into it, I would brush my teeth with one hand and then hang on the other, and then I'll switch off. you know. So, but yeah, just hanging in general, and
Okay.
that's really good for your shoulders, your lower back, your hands. Grip training is also one of the key things. So for me, I have these things called like fat grips, and what they do is they kind of cover my barbells, and it essentially just thickens the handle a little bit. So it's like adding a little more resistance to the grip for training.
Okay.
And then those are my main two, and just movement in general. I do a little bit of yoga here and there, just to stay mobile, and then strength training. So it really depends. There's a lot to it. So like depending on the route you want to do, it's can be specific on a move, but overall, hands, shoulders, and mobility are like my main key
Okay.
areas to focus on.
Yeah. So it's definitely not about building size. Um,
I mean, you can be it just it's not what I go for. Is I like to just stay more fit and just rather be a little more like limber than
yeah.
bulky.
No, I get it. Super bullish, dude. Super bullish. That's awesome. I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna like change because something like it caught my attention, and you just happened to also post on X about it. This thing about um, new gotcha platform for Hot Wheels, little miniature toy cars. Um, and like Metadal is like pushing this out there. So Rip Cars, um, and they're like actually about to launch. To me, I think this is cool, and one of the, like the hot thing, is like the Pokemon cards and the One Piece and all that, and you see that everywhere. Uh, Soul Flare and Jupiter and like Collector Script, all these guys. A lot of people they're doing it, and it's super hot and it's super cool. But like this for like Hot Wheels, which is also like major collectible. And well, the one thing that like really caught my attention about this, and is like a major difference between this and like say Pokemon cards, is like Pokemon, you have your legendary or your really valuable and rare cards, and Hot Wheels has their the same kind of deal, a better car, uh, but it's got more value. The big difference that my understanding is like when it comes to the Pokemon cards, you don't know how many of those rare valuable ones exist. Like you don't know what the number is. You don't know how many are printed or anything like that. Whereas with the Hot Wheels, like they tell you, okay, there's going to be 5,000 of these, and that's it. You know, um, but what are your thoughts on this meta? Do you think good idea? You think it'll go anywhere, or just any comment you want to make on this?
Yeah, actually, I thought it was kind of cool to see just a different variety of collectibles. Yet there is a huge collector community within Hot Wheels. I mean, I think they were first launched in like 1968-ish, around there. I
Yeah,
might be wrong, but yeah, I mean, the people that are diehards, I feel like I've seen people that have like dedicated rooms for Hot Wheels, and
yeah, for real.
I like the aspect of it kind of connects like the current generation with like just older collectibles, because it's something that it's meant to be like a toy, but at the same times you also have like some super rare models, so you can kind of add like the older scene. Um, but yeah, overall, I think it's a cool addition to have for the community. Uh, I would give it a go just to see how it is. It's I think a different market, because it's like I think Hot Wheels is more on like the US and maybe some other locations. I'm not sure how international
It's a good
the
point.
brand
Good
is,
point.
but overall, though, just I feel like kids in general, is no matter who you are, I feel like just small toy cars are just fun to play with, and just
Yeah,
kind
they
of
are.
yeah. So it does bring a lot of nostalgia to it. I think it's one of the key aspects for having a good brand is having a good history, nostalgia, and just like, brings you back and thinks about the youth and how like, you know, I think
Yeah,
it's at the core of all kids just playing with, like when you think of a kid, you think of like toy cars or dinosaurs or like,
yeah, yeah. No doubt. I mean, this is what I played with whenever I was a kid.
Yeah,
I
me
had
too.
the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox and all of that. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing on this. I mean, they're doing their raise. The token is about to launch here.
Yeah, they did
30,
really well. I think they
almost
raised,
32 million
oh yeah.
committed.
Yeah,
That's
it's
that's wild.
12,788% over, which is great for them. So
I'm looking
that's
at
the
this
thing.
though, and we see one, two, three, four, five wallets
Just say yeah,
with
some big bidders there.
$1 million. Holy crap! Right? And what they did,
Someone's bullish. Hopefully, it's not the same, but
yeah, yeah. I mean, I always worry about these kind of things, like just rugging, but and like here's the pool. I put in, um, I put in like $40 into this. It's not yet running, but I said, okay, I'll go as wide as I can without paying any bins for this, which ended up being only like 60% uh, bid ask. So we'll see. Will I like immediately lose my $40, or will it range or pump? Who knows? But I just noticed this is quote token only pool. Okay. Oh, whatever. So I would get fees only in USDC, even if it dumps. All right. Bullish. All right, chat. So anybody out there, you guys tell me, is this bullish or is it meh? I mean, what do you guys think about Hot Wheels as a gotcha? It's the same kind of concept. You can open the car, online, and if you like it, cool. You keep it. They'll send it to you. If you don't want it, you can sell it right back. I believe is the same kind of concept as like the the Pokemons, as they would say. So we got one person who's bullish. Um, you know what? I wonder if I should have set up a limit order on this instead.
Oh yeah, good call.
Well, actually, I mean, to be honest with you, um, I'm I don't actually want to hold this token. I
Mm.
mean, I like the project; it's cool, but I'm just out here to make some money off of this. But we got Hector; he's bullish. Um,
Yeah, so I
how
mean the thing is for the top five was it top five contributors, they're pretty chunky. So I mean,
that is pretty chunky.
yeah,
Am I going to be exit liquidity? Well, not very much, but the liquidity on this pool is not very thick. There's only $37,000 in here, so I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I wonder if there's a damn V2 pool actually.
most likely, but I'm not sure just because you have to have both just to get it rolling. Probably not just yet, but
Well, I mean, there's a way to do one sided. There is no damn V2 pool. There is a way to do one sided with the damn V2. You set it programmatically. If you remember, that's how Meteora launched Matt.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Damon, Pokemon is crazy compared to cars, I assume. Yeah. I mean, I think you definitely got to get some, older, more nostalgia guys on this. But
yeah,
yeah.
it's a slightly different niche. So you're having anime toys and animals versus mechanical toys and cars. So a different facet, but overall, just I think it's cool just to see different a niche in the whole collectible space. Um, yeah, just a different realm. Another one I think would be cool to have possibly online is maybe like coins. I think collectible coins is a pretty huge thing. It's international, slightly a little different, but
Yeah. 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 All right. So let's see what else is going on out there in the world. Let me just pull up. Uh, this is actually the LP Army page going on that you're maintaining. Beautiful job. So LP Army bounties are live. If you guys didn't know, there's bounties out there, and it's competition. So this is not like a whales game here. It's pretty cool. Let's see, where did I? Here we go. Like here's someone submitting for a bounty. LP any like LP in the gym. So it's just kind of like showing their daily routine. That's one of the bounties. Um, there's another one at the gym, although, yeah, okay. They're just showing their day, which is kind of cool. Let's see, are there any others we have? Well, whatever. So they've got the bounties going, which is awesome. There's also the the referral program going on right now, right? And so like they just had their airdrop going on, season 2 airdrop that just happened, and now this new referral system. And so what people do here is you can stake a met, and put that in there and earn a percentage of protocol fees. Um, and you can also refer people, uh, and if you people use your referral code, you'll earn also some protocol fees off of any fees that they earn while LPing, um, and so forth. And this is like a newer wallet. I only put in like 358 met in it. The minimum is 200. Um, but what what is your thoughts on this? And and be honest. How do you feel about this system? Do you think this is good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think where it could be improved? What is, tell me what Hashirama thinks.
Yeah,
Tick's bullish on it.
yeah, I think it's pretty bullish to have it launched. Almost at roughly the same time as when the S2 launched. So a lot of us were waiting for this since the first season. So it's something that's been super huge in anticipation and want. So I know a lot of people are stoked about it, and it's also, I think, bullish for people that have a good audience as well. So, great for people that are content creators and the content machine, just to help, get and support your community from staking your referrals and just having it, overall spread out.
Yeah.
I'd like to see just more, just like what how the fees get distributed, because it's pretty new, so we're just
Right.
kind of seeing things roll out. But as far as it goes so far, everything's been super smooth. I think things rolled out, yeah, really fast. So I'm really stoked on how things went. The only thing is, I feel as if I, w- I I'm not sure. Like, I was a huge DMV2S1 user, so I feel like there were probably a good amount of pools that probably didn't make the cut. So I was expecting just a little more on the damn points for S2, but
Yeah.
it also I also originally thought that the damn V2 points were gonna be worth more, which I was right about originally on my original thesis, because I think it was like 2,000 points for damn V2 versus like 1,000 points
Yeah.
per dollar earned. So
And I know some ended up being about 200 instead.
yeah, it was a slight vary depending on just when it was launching, but
Right.
yeah.
Well,
So
I know a lot of them was like, like if this thing's an Insta rug or something, those didn't count. Or like if
yeah.
people were doing like wash traded.
Yeah, it's basically similar protocols, like requirements for when round one come out. They had to filter out the watch trading pools and things that got blacklisted. And
Yeah.
but yeah, overall, I'm actually really impressed at how smooth and things went as far as speed and just got things rolling.
Right.
You know,
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, I know there's people who are unhappy, there's people who are happy, and all of it's hard. And you'll never, ever make everyone happy. But to me, you're like, this is a huge commitment here. Estimated rewards for cycle one, they're $302,000. And cycle is basically a month. So, like, that's a lot of change, dude. If you multiply that by three, that's almost $1 million. That's a lot
yeah,
of money
yeah,
that they're handing out to reward, their users and their stakers. And but to me, like one of the big things is that what was missing was a utility for Met, and now there's a utility. Um, I'm just, to me, I like seeing that. Um,
agreed.
I'm looking but the other thing that people need to remember is that this is just V1, right? This is just like the first iteration of this. Um, and we'll see what changes after that. I would really love to see pool referrals.
Mm, like individual pools.
Yeah, like say you found some runner, you went and created a new pool for it, and you put that out there, and like people would use, they'd click your link to go to it, and you would get a portion of the protocol fees earned off of that specific pool,
Hmm.
right? So, and and that one of the things I think that's cool because like what has some people like pause about creating a pool is that non-refundable cost, right? And if I can put out a referral for a pool, and it hits and it generates a whole bunch of fees, whatever, I'm gonna get my money back in that way, and I may get rewarded. And I would get rewarded like if I find like say you found Jimothy and you were the first to put out there,
Uh, the
like,
infamous raccoon.
right, which may or may not be made by AI, we don't know. But just imagine, the potential of that. If you just got like say 1 or 2% of those protocol fees off of just that, like that could be insane, dude.
Yeah.
Like you could get actually paid. Now, will it happen? I don't know, but I would like to see something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
you know what that kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of what Pump Fund is doing with their cash back with people that launch. So so basically Pump Fund's launchpad, it's one of like the largest launch pads on Solana.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They have this feature where token creators can have a cashback feature. So basically, it incentivizes people that trade on there and then get a little bit of fees as rewards. You know,
yeah, yeah. No doubt. Um, okay, so let's see. Let's move on to something else. And actually, I'm going to go back and check and see if that cars is launched yet. And it looks like not.
yeah, not just yet. I mean, they just closed, so
When,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when?
That's the thing. Is it could be 5 minutes, could be an hour. I mean,
Yeah, I'm sitting here wondering, man, like, should I like ape hard on this? I just don't know. But anyway, I've got $40 in there, and we'll see.
yeah, 32 mil is it's a good amount, but the I want to see how
Yeah, but the fact that there's only $37,000 in the pool,
that is true.
it makes me nervous.
So there is got to be a big gap.
Yeah, yeah, there is a big gap. Uh, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Hashirama, man, we've been kind of like all over the place. A lot of things have been happening in Solana. We've covered some metas here. Um, but, you know what? Let me go ahead and share this for you guys out there. Referral codes. If you would like to get in on this and you are not already, this is Hashirama's referral code and mine. Scan the QR code if you'd like to get in on that. So you would be earning a portion of or a percentage off of fees that we generate as we LP. So you scan that and put that in there. Just remember that whenever you enter a code, it is permanent on that wallet. You cannot change it after you do it. So you can put that in there and follow along, stake some MET, and earn yourself some money. Super bullish. So I'll leave that up for a minute here. Give anybody an opportunity to do that. So yeah. Sorry you didn't get a vanity code, man. That's
Yeah, it's all good. I think I was like just on the cusp of on that. I was still like in my Asia travels, so I think I might have missed it by a day or so. My time
okay.
during then was like all over the place.
Gotcha. Okay. Asia travels. That's if so. You where are you going? Like
Oh no,
Vietnam?
when things were launching, I just got back from like a couple months in Vietnam. Was in New Zealand, um, and then those like the main two, and then yeah, just visiting family, and then one of my best friends moved over to
Okay.
Vietnam as well. So
Bullish. So question in the chat: can you use two codes? Not on the same wallet.
Yeah, you have to have a different wallet to if you
Yeah,
want to.
so like if you wanted to do multiple ref codes, multiple people, you would need to use multiple wallets for that. And like I said before, it is like permanent, right? So choose wisely. You pick somebody, and that is stuck on that wallet forever. And the staking, you could stake. If you want to unstake, you will. If you want to unstake before like the claim ends or whatever, um, you would lose any pending rewards, and it takes like 7 days to unstake. There is a instant unstake, but there's like a 10% penalty on that. And why is that built that way? Well, is to encourage people to stake and hold in there, give people reason to do that. So that is indeed why that exists. So I dropped that down. Anyway, all right, Hashirama. I like to cook. My name is Heavy Metal Cook,
Yeah.
and I made some tasty steak
Mm.
a few days ago. Ribeye, it's my favorite. With some mashed cauliflower up there because I'd like to do keto. But I got a video to show you guys how to do this. And Hashirame, have you ever heard of the reverse sear method?
Reverse sear method. It kind of sounds familiar. I feel like just off the name, but it does sound familiar. But the exact method, I'm drawing a blank at the moment. I'm thinking something quick, as far as heat. As far I'm not exactly on the final technique, but
Okay.
yes,
Well,
but not familiar at the moment.
I'm going to show the reverse sear in the video today. Um, and there's multiple ways to cook a steak. Just straight grill it, whether it's on a grill over fire or propane, wood, charcoal, whatever. You could do it on a griddle. You could put it in the oven. You can sous vide a steak. Of course, you still want to grill it at some point. Um, but anyway, what the reverse sear is all about is what some people, whenever they're cooking their steak, they'll sear it in a pan and then they will put it in an oven to finish it off. And
Ah,
yeah, and it just kind of like it's a even temperature control and what have you. Um, but like with any like meat like this, especially if it like exposed to intense heat or long amounts of heat, is it's just you're cooking meat. The juices tend to like concentrate like within a certain part, and if you don't allow a rest period of meat, if you cut into it right away, all that juice like falls out, and then it gets dry and it's not good. What the reverse sear does is it allows you to like cook it. It's basically you've cooked it to medium rare or whatever. You get that even medium rare all the way through the steak, and then you just sear it. You let it rest, and then whenever you go to sear it, after you sear it, you can eat it immediately. You don't have to rest again. Uh,
mm.
we have French legend Tiagogo out in the chat today. Bonjour, my friend. He likes the reverse sear. It is the alpha.
So when
And
you're doing a reverse sear, what are the times that you're letting it sit for, like 15 minutes? Is it like an hour or less, or how?
after the rest, or for the rest period,
Yeah.
rest period is like 10-15 minutes.
Okay. Good.
Um, Sometimes it depends on the cut of meat. Like if I was doing a brisket, it would probably like it's better to let that thing sit for half an hour to an hour. Whatever. Tiagogo says, I'd like to buy a pro smoker with pellets to make a pork shoulder cook for hours.
Ooh,
Well,
nice.
Tiagogo, I will try and be as nice as I possibly can here and say that. Okay, maybe I'm not going to be nice. Pellet smokers are for girls. Okay, all right. I shouldn't say that. Pellet smokers, these kinds of things, if it requires electricity, they are, great if you want to set something and let it just like run. You want to go nap, you don't want to watch it, it'll maintain the temperature and whatever. What I like the pure. I go just wood and
Yeah,
real lump charcoal.
I would agree as well.
To me, it's a better flavor. But I also like the last thing that I want to do is have to plug in my smoker or it do a software update. Um, if you ever heard of someone who has a Traeger, uh, they love to talk about their Traeger. But yes,
Yeah,
you
the good thing over here is that we actually have a lot of different woods. So a lot of
oh
times
yeah.
I can get a lot of different types of wood for free. If I need anything like really niche like maple or oak, I sometimes might be able to find it for free. People just giving it out, so which is
Well, I
nice.
would not. To me, oak is not niche. That's like one of the big ones here, the main ones. In fact, the real lump charcoal that I buy is made out of oak, and that is one of the best woods. You know what? I really need to get into like have like a whole bit on just like smoker wood
Oh,
and all of that. I need to do a thing like that. But there's 10 minutes left in the show today, so that just gives me an idea for another session. In fact, guys, next weekend I am going on the road starting Tuesday of next week, and I will be gone for like 10 days. But I'm still gonna do the show, man. And one of the places that I'm going is it is the official barbecue capital of Texas. It's called
oh,
Lockhart, Texas, and it's in Central Texas. Some of the absolute best barbecue you can ever have in the world. A place called Cruise Market. In my opinion, there is none better. Um, Super stoked for this trip. Um, I I don't know. I'm distracted just thinking about this, but I think maybe like that could be a topic for next week's show. Is actually about smoker and smoker wood. So hang in there, tune in. KC, what's going on, man? My guest from last week. It's nice to see you, legend. Damon, he knows what's happening with the real barbecue. So anyway, moving on, let us get to the actual video. Here we go. Reverse seared steak method. Grill some steaks, y'all. So there's so many different ways to cook a steak. You can just put it on the grill the sides. You can sear it in a pan and then put it in the oven. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but what I'm going to teach you now is the reverse sear method. And what that means is that we put it in the oven first, let it cook, then we're going to go let it rest for a bit, and then we will sear. What this does is it allows you to do the resting period, which is very important for a piece of meat like this that you cooked on a high heat. It allows the juices in the meat to redistribute out so that it's nice and juicy and so that it doesn't all come out whenever you cut into it. The other thing is that you get a more even cook all throughout the steak. And after you sear it, it's ready to eat immediately after that. So what I've done is I've set the oven to 375 degrees. Some people do this at 250 for a longer period of time. I'm gonna do this at 375 Fahrenheit, whatever that is in Celsius. I am looking for a medium rare cook. These are approximately 1-inch thick ribeyes. I bring them up to room temperature first. And I'm going to salt them very well, and you want to use a coarse salt on them. So check this out. You salt it more than you might think you should. Quite a bit there. If you were to use regular table salt with this, it would get entirely too salty. I'm just gonna salt that back up. Let those sit while the oven is preheating, and then we will put them into the 375 degree oven for approximately 9 minutes. All right, time is up. So we're gonna pull these out and we're gonna let those rest probably about 15 minutes or so. And I will prep my cast iron skillet. You could do this on a grill, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it in a cast iron skillet. I'll preheat all this and get everything ready while we're waiting for those to rest for 10-15 minutes. All right, so cast iron skillet is screaming hot. What we're going to do is we're going to sear these steaks 1.5 minutes each side. The second side, I'm going to add some butter, garlic, and thyme. This is totally optional, but I'm going to use that. I'm going to baste the steaks with that as they're done, as they cook. And then once it's all done, then I'll add the black pepper. I don't want to put it on the steak now because it could burn it to the pan and cause it to get bitter. So let's rock and roll. We get one of these steaks here. And get my timer going. There we go. Time for the flip. Beautiful crust on there. It looks really good. We've got another minute to go on this. I'm going to go ahead and add the butter, garlic, and thyme to the pan. Let that get melted. You actually baste this as we go. You tilt the pan so that you can scoop that butter out and you just put it right on top of the steak. All right, this baby is done. Let's get her over onto the plate. We'll cut into it. You can see nice, beautiful, medium rare. That's how it's done. Easy as that. Okay, guys. Bullish. I hope all that made sense on that. It was actually really delicious, and a couple comments. And I know that Tiago
hungry already.
Huh?
Getting me hungry.
Yeah. Tiago, he knows, man. Not optional, butter, garlic, and thyme. And I actually kind of I went the cheap route on that. Normally, you would use whole bits, cloves of garlic, and whenever I went to pull mine out, it was actually rotten, so I had to use some minced stuff. And fresh thyme really is the best. So if you get some sprigs, do that. But if you don't have all that, you're not fancy. You've got some minced garlic, you've got some jarred thyme. It's better than nothing. And I didn't show me putting the black pepper on, but I did put black pepper on before I do it. But that is the thing, searing meats, you do a lot of seasoning on there. You run the risk of that kind of burning to your pan or whatever, and it can cause bitter, especially with black pepper. But yeah, that is, folks, the reverse sear method. It's quite delicious way to do it.
Gonna need to add that to my technique.
Yeah, and a lot of people are doing it. When I first started doing it, I would put it in a 250-degree Fahrenheit oven for it would be 30 minutes or something like that. It was a longer amount of time. And I did a bunch of experimenting with it to see, it was how can I cut this down without ruining it? And I kind of landed on 375 degrees Fahrenheit for, about 9 minutes. It depends on how thick the steak is, right? If you've got a thinner steak, go less time. Thicker steak, a little bit more time. If I go for the really thick, I might have a little more time. But it also depends on what temperature you're going for. I mean, if you want to ruin your steak and cook it well done, cook it for a whole lot longer. But yeah, that is my go-to method for cooking steak. And if you guys heard of the term sous vide, it's a French word. It's basically you put the meat in a bag and it goes inside this container with water, and there's a thing controlling the temperature. It brings it up, but it'll actually hold that at a very specific temperature for a long time. It's French. Yeah. It works, and it is yes.
It's kind of like boiling.
Kind of, but not, because the water is not actually touching the meat. It's just getting the heat from it. It's even all around there. So there we go. Meaning under empty. Look at that. We learned something there.
Creepy.
Yeah. Oh, I think the car's USDC pool just went live.
Ooh.
Maybe. Let's see. Uh, oh, yep. It is live. Okay. Wow. That is running. And I'm getting nothing. Okay. Well, anyway, guys, that was steak right there. Nice. You could see there how like it doesn't have that target effect of like the middle is correct and then you've got a layer of well and then like medium well, and so on and so forth. Um, it's even medium rare all the way through except for the outside crust. And I've said this before, that outside crust, that is called the Maillard reaction, another French word for you guys. So anyway, yes, keep all the flavor in the sous vide. Well, man, it's been an hour.
Mm.
Hashirama.
Learn something new.
Yeah, man. Super cool. Well, I just had let's see here. Last thing that I want to announce, the Suck It Out TV, we've got so many different shows going on and they're looking to add more all the time. Last night was Kev's Game Room. If you like gaming, especially gaming on Solana, he's got a great show out there. The Legend Quicks, he does the Moon Show. He's got that. There's Crypto Rap. There is People's Market, the Alpha Den. And there's also on every Saturday the Sagadal Block Party. And it's literally an online party. Okay. And I will actually be on. It happens today at 6 p.m. Eastern. So it's just in a few hours. What's cool about the block party is like you come in, you party, you hang out. They've got games. He's got a curated music track. It's a lot of fun, but you could actually win real money, guys, in these games. Everybody has a chance to win, and I will be the special guest this week. Super honored to get to do that. And it's streamed on X as well as Twitch. But if you want to participate in the chat and be able to play the games and win the prizes, you need to join the Block Party Discord. I've got the QR code right up there in the corner. Scan that, join that Discord, and don't miss out on the party and all the vibes and fun. So looking forward to doing that. Treasure Dad, yes, there is something for everyone at Sagadao, and we are looking to expand all the time. So anyway, any final thoughts from you, Mr. Hashirama?
Yeah, so I didn't know that you're having your extra little podcast. I'll try and check it out later today. Yeah, so just I think the market is slowly picking up. I'm liking that there's been some larger market cap pushes since we got Ansem, in the hundreds of millions. It's beginning to get more projects to get loaded. So just to kind of stay aware of like launches, and you don't have to worry about as much of rugs nowadays. I think it's still something you need to pay attention to, but the market's looking good. Yeah, just stay active, and I'll see you guys in the chat.
Right on, man. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. If you guys are not following Hashirama on X, there you go. And of course, follow the LP Army. But anyway, thank you guys. We will see you guys next week. And rock on.
All right, take care.